Guys, it's been a long time since I've done a video, and I saw this 8-pen questionnaire going around, and I figured why not make my own video and discuss my fountain pen journey with you guys. The first question is, when and how did your fountain pen journey begin? I still consider myself a beginner, but I started my fountain pen journey 10 years ago when I originally started planning in the Hobonichi. I was watching a lot of videos on here, and a lot of the girls were using fountain pens in their Hobonichi planners. And I thought, well, this is really cool. I have been doing dip calligraphy for some time, and I thought it kind of matched with that hobby. So I ended up picking up the Lamy Safari as my first one. And then this one, came out, and I was super excited about this because I was in a pink phase. Picked this one up, and I loved these for a while, but I eventually just stopped using them altogether because of the grip section. It just wasn't working 100% for me. So I kind of stepped back away from fountain pens for a couple years, and came back after many people suggested the Sport. So when I got this, it brought me back to fountain pens. I love this pen. It's the cutest little pocket pen. And these pens are small. My hands are really small, so yeah, it's huge. But I love it. I think these were so adorable. I collected a bunch of colors, and now I've kind of honed in on the ones that I have kept, but I highly recommend the Sport for anybody who is starting out, or the Safari, but really the Sports. Number 2, favorite inks in the beginning, and what are your go-to inks now? My favorite inks in the beginning, I would say I stuck with the cartridges when I first started off, and then a simple black. This Sailor Black ink is what I have used since the beginning. I love this. This is my second bottle of this. I also really loved this ink. I have since bought another, so I have completely used this color over the years. And the other color that I was obsessed with was the KR.Plan Emerald of Chivor. Loved that for the longest time. It was those 3 inks. But since I have grown really fond of brown and green inks, my current favorite brown is Wearing Girl Cowardly Lion. 100% my favorite brown to date. I also was able to pick up a Pilot Iroshizuku in Tokushi. I was able to find an unopened bottle, and I am so happy that I was able to get one of these because I really love this brown as well, and the shading is just amazing. But this one, hands down, is my current favorite brown ink. I do not have a green. I guess my favorite green ink right now would be the Sailor Manyo Shirakashi. It's a cute green bottle, and I do love this green, but I have collected lots of samples now of different green inks that it's really hard to pick a favorite. Number 3, how have your ink and pen tastes changed over time? I think I answered that already. I did really enjoy black and blue inks in the beginning, and now I am branching out into colors, shading, shimmer, sheening inks, and I have found myself growing a love for more greens, browns. Let's see, my current lineup is a lot of greens and browns, as you can see, but I do occasionally like some pink and yellow, and I throw a color in there during my currently inked, and I'd like to say that I'm into more colors, but I am a sucker for brown and black inks, 100%. Number 4, are there inks and pens that you have yet to try but would like to? I have a huge long list of inks I would like to try, and they're always coming out with more. As far as pens, I really, 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 really want to get my hands on a Pelican. I have heard the writing experience with that is absolutely amazing. This last month, I went to my first pen show, and I regretfully did not try a fountain pen or a Pelican nib, and I'm kicking my butt for that because it's one of the pens that I have yet to try, and I really, really, really want to try it. What is my holy grail pen? My holy grail pen is actually the Kaweco Sport in Golden Espresso. I am so bummed I missed out on that release. It is such a beautiful pen, and I love the Kaweco Sports. I would be, if I could find one, I would be so excited. Number 6, how many pens do you currently own? Let me review. 34. 34 plus 2. So 36 total right now. I know I'm crazy. I've seen larger ones, but I have 36 pens. 34 technically in my hands and 2 on the way, 1 to be delivered today. So, whew, my collection is growing, as you can tell. Number 7, do you have a limit on pens or inks in your collection? Is it a number? Is it a feeling? And when do you know that you've reached your maximum? I didn't think that there was a number per se. I think I'm almost reaching that feeling that I have enough. But there is room in my current storage for my fountain pens. So I think that, coupled with the fact that my wish list has about 5 currently on it, that I am not done collecting yet. I think overall it will be a feeling though when I have reached my maximum, when some of the releases, at least with certain brands, I'll say. So I have 6 Kaweco Sports, and I think I've hit my max with that, unless I get a golden espresso, I would add that. I think in that regard, I know there is a max with certain brands because I want to broaden my collection, but I love writing with fountain pens and I love mixing them around. So I think that I will eventually hit a max, but I'm not quite there yet. And number 8, what would you do if another pen and ink came along? There's always more pens and more inks that keep coming along. I have realized that I don't need bottles of inks, that I'm having a lot of fun sampling and trying new inks frequently. So I don't necessarily think that I will be buying any more bottles of inks. But samples, I think I will purchase for sure. As far as pens, there's a lot of new pen releases, but I think once I have reached that feeling of a maximum, I'll be either to pass on some pens. Like today, I saw another Sailor. I'm gonna add it to my wish list for sure, but I usually keep things on my wish list for a while, and if they've been there for over 2 weeks, then I will consider purchasing. Now, if it's a very, very limited release and I can't get it out of my head in a few days, I will go ahead and purchase with the idea and mindset that I'm either going to have to let go of a pen or reconsider another wish list item. But yes, those are my answers to the pen questionnaire. And I would love to hear from you what your favorite pen is, or ink and pen combo. And I'm so happy that you guys came and watched my video. After watching that video back, I realized that I've been out of practice making videos, and I skipped over the second part of question number 3, which was how have my pen tastes changed over time. I think when I first started in fountain pens, I loved color, lots of color. I collected Quaco Sports like they were every color of the rainbow. And I have slowly sold some of those off, so that now I have a very specific curated collection as far as colors go. I am very much a brown and black pen girl that are classics. I do step out into the color realm with greens, blue, purple, silver. I guess it's more cool tones, I've noticed. So like with my Quaco collection, I have browns only. Golden espresso, you belong right there. And then I'm a little bit more bright and colorful with my Sailor collection. I have blue, green, like a lilac color. But I will say I do love my transparent demonstrators. I love demonstrators. I know some people find them so tacky, but I think what drew me to fountain pens in general was just how they worked, and just seeing the components of it fascinates me, and I will always get a demonstrator version if they have one. I have recently, as far as nib sizes go, I'm usually an extra fine, fine, or medium fine. Those are my go-to across the board. But I have been branching out. I got this for Christmas. It's the Hongdian fountain pen off of Amazon. It is a long knife nib, but it's basically an architect grind. And I love this because how I normally print is block letters, mostly capitals, and this makes my handwriting look so good. I got this one because it's just a cheap version of a grind that a lot of people get their nibs ground down to. And I wanted to try it before I ordered a pen with a custom grind from a Nibmeister. I have also branched out to stubs, cursive italics. What else have I tried? I really want to try a reverse architect because I loved this. And I tend to find myself using this opposite because it works so well, especially with wet inks. I do have a broad, but it is a Quaco broad, and I just bought the nib unit to give it a try. Same with TWSBI, I tried the stub nib unit instead of buying a full pen. And I think that's an easy, cheaper route to do instead of buying the full pen if you want to try a different nib. And flex pens, I love flex pens since I started with dip calligraphy and oblique writing. I find flex nibs wonderful. I just don't use them with my daily writing. I use them more for more specialty lettering. lettering practice, or if I'm trying to do something really fancy as far as calligraphy goes. But I guess that answers why how my pen taste have changed over time. I think going forward, I'm also going to start looking at expanding my collection. I have a few favorite styles of pens that I like. A lot of times it was the flat top pens, and now I'm finding I really enjoy the long cigar shape ones. But I've also noticed that I like thicker pens for longer, like handwrite or long letter writing. So these two are my thicker big boys, I'd say. I don't think I'd go any bigger than this, but they're comfortable in my hand for long writing sessions. But the thinner ones, like this one, it is so fine, and I think that's the whole purpose, is really, it's supposed to be like a paintbrush, hence the name brush pen. But I tend to notice that I'm not going for these smaller gripped pens because I start getting cramps in my hand here. So I use these on occasion. They're fun writers, but I think when I start narrowing down my collection, I'm going to be getting rid of some of my thinner pens and keeping my more thick pens. But just note to self as I go through buying new fountain pens. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you have any questions, I'm always happy to respond to those. So I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.